The multiverse is something we have all grown familiar with, whether you learned about it from Marvel, DC, or even Doctor Who. I believe most of us have heard of and have some form of understanding of the multiverse. So let's take a look at the Barbie multiverse. There are at least 4 universes where the Barbie movies take place. The Barbie world, where the new 2023 Barbie movie takes place. The OG Barbieverse that most kids grew up with, including The Princess and the Pauper and the Barbie Diaries. The Toy Story universe. And then there's the newest Barbieverse, which is the newest to date as of this video, which includes Big City Big Dreams and the Barbie vlogs. Just to make things easier, I'm also separating the timelines into parts. So let's start with the first one, the OG Barbie timeline. A long time ago, there was only one world, full of many kingdoms and different species. A land full of magic, mermaids, fairies, unicorns, and much more. Rapunzel lived in this wonderful world, however, this lovely world would not last. Not everybody with these magical abilities are kind. There were several corrupt beings who took it upon themselves to plunge this world into darkness. This made the humans scared of all magical beings. It caused the Fairy Queen, the Cloud Queen, the Enchantress, and a few others to gather. The Fairy Queen gave a crystal to her closest friend Rayla and her daughter the Enchantress. With the help of a few others, they were able to separate the magic world and the human world. However, not every magical creature was able to get to the magic world before the separation. Because of this, some of the rulers decided to stay behind and help the magical beings left behind hide from the humans. And over time, magical creatures became only stories and legends. The human world didn't lose all its magic. There were portals to the magic world left behind. Through the rainbow is the world of the fairies, where the Enchantress rules the realm with the help of the rainbow fairies. There's a door to a secret world in the garden of a lovely kingdom. A secret portal that can be opened by dance, and several magical items were left behind, like mirrors, wands, shoes, books, and more. A long time later, in a small village, lived a baker and his daughters. The youngest daughter, Odette, saw some men hunting a unicorn. Odette helped the unicorn escape and followed it to a passageway where magical creatures and the Fairy Queen was hiding. Odette eventually married the prince and became Princess Odette, the Swan Princess. At the same time, Genevieve and her 11 sisters find a portal they need to dance to open, to a magical land where all your wishes come true. The princesses were very misbehaved and acted more like wild animals than princesses. Their father asked his sister, the Duchess, to come stay with them so she can teach the young princesses manners. Genevieve fell in love with the shoe cobbler and became queen of the kingdom. Mary, Odette's sister, settled down in the village of Genevieve's kingdom. Queen Marissa and her husband the king raised their daughter Rosella, teaching her how to speak to animals. One day, the family had to travel across the sea to visit a neighboring kingdom. However, the boat got stuck in a storm. The king and queen lost their daughter at sea. She washed up on an island with no memory. She went by the name of Ro and was raised by the animals on the island, keeping her ability to speak to them. Prince Antonio found her while exploring. He took her back to the land where she was reunited with her mother and ended up marrying the prince. Some of the princesses from the 12 dancing princesses came to the wedding of Ro and the prince.
At the very same moment, 2 identical baby girls were born. Princess. The king and queen were overjoyed. The second baby girl was named Erica. Her parents loved her every bit as much as the king and queen loved the princess. They were so poor. With lives so different, it wasn't surprising that the princess and the pauper never met.
The widowed Queen Genevieve hired Julian to tutor Princess Annalise in manners and was her personal teacher. Unfortunately, the kingdom became poor, so Genevieve made a choice to marry her daughter off to King Dominic, the king of a neighboring rich kingdom. Julian helped Princess Annalise enjoy her first and last taste of freedom by taking her into the village, where she found Erica, who eventually had to switch places with Annalise when she was kidnapped to help find out who the kidnapper was. This led Annalise to finding geodes, saving her kingdom from poverty, meaning she could marry whoever she chose and not who she needs to. Erica and Annalise had a double wedding, where Erica married King Dominic, making her a queen, and Annalise married her tutor, Julian. far away and several years later, in another kingdom, was a lovely king and queen who had a daughter, Brietta. The king and queen loved Brietta very much, and Brietta loved ice skating. However, on Brietta's 16th birthday, a sorcerer named Windlock showed up uninvited to her skating party. When she refused to be his new wife, he turned her into a Pegasus. Several years later, the king and queen had another daughter. However, things were not the same. Annika was very sheltered. She got her sister's love for skating, but wasn't allowed to go out. On Annika's 16th birthday, she snuck out to skate. Once again, Wenlock showed up and demanded for the princess to be his wife. Her parents tried to save her when she refused. However, her hero of the night was her long-lost sister, Brietta. Together, they broke the curse Brietta was under, defeated Wedlock, saved her kingdom, and reunited her family. King Julian and Queen Annalise create a school together to teach other princesses how to behave based off Julian's teachings, the same ones he used to help Erica. Courtney was raised by her mother at the barn. Her father died a musketeer. She grew up wanting to know her father, and the way she decided to do that was to become a musketeer. Courtney, Mina, Bienza, Rini were taught by Helen how to be the first female musketeer. Courtney's cat, Meaty, also became the first animal musketeer. Together they paved the way for little girls to become anything. I definitely messed up on saying their names. The young Clara receives a dollhouse from her favorite aunt, Elizabeth. While Clara was sleeping, she became the size of a doll. With the help of her Nutcracker Eric, they went on a magical adventure to save Eric's kingdom from the Mouse King. The next morning, everything was back to normal, and her Nutcracker becomes a human. Meanwhile, Eden was going through a magical adventure of her own. As a young girl, Eden made the choice to focus more on her studies than her joy of the holidays, growing a hatred for it. As an adult, Eden became a singer. Her best friend Catherine was the tailor and helped make the clothes for the orphan. Eden forced Catherine and her other staff to work on Christmas. That night, while she was sleeping and the others worked, she got a visit from three spirits, one from the past, the present, and the future. These visits changed Eden's perspective on Christmas. She learned how generous Catherine was being with the orphans and decided to help her. That Christmas, Eden helped the orphans and reignited her love for Christmas. The school King Julian and Queen Annalise created has lasted decades and is called Princess Charm School. The descendants of Julian and Annalise inherited the duties of the school. Unfortunately, King Reginald, Queen Elizabeth, and Princess Sophia were all in a car accident, leading Dame Devon, King's sister, and her daughter Delancey to take control of the kingdom. Little did Dame Devon know, Princess Sophia survived the accident and was adopted by Miss Willows. With no record of her past, Sophia became Blair Willows. Miss Willows eventually had another daughter named Emily, who signed Blair up to be the lottery winner of the Princess Charm School. While at school, Blair discovered her past and became Princess Sophia once again, the next ruler of her kingdom. She chose her cousin Delancey as her right-hand girl. Princess Victoria, also goes by Tori, and Popstar Kira switched places for a few days to live each other's lives, helping Victoria get over her stage fright, and Kira learned of her manager, Kreider's scheme of manipulating her and robbing the palace. Together, the two girls stopped Cider from robbing the palace. The girls not only became best friends, but they also get a new appreciation for their own lives. Tori heads over to a summer camp for princesses and goes by her middle name, Courtney. However, this being her first year there was a mix-up. The Popstars also have a summer camp just across the way, where Erica is heading for summer camp. However, this is also her first year there. And they confused the girls. Courtney got sent to Pop Camp and Erica got sent to Princess Camp. When switched, the girls learned both camps are in danger. So Camp Pop and Camp Royal united to save their camp. A few things to note. How we know Tori is Courtney is because while talking to Erica, she explains how she had her aunt reveal a painting of a donkey, which takes place in Princess and the Popstar. The camps that they're at used to be the Princess Charm School, or is at least an extension of it, and we know that based off the paintings in this room. This little trilogy gave us this bob.
To be a princess is to know which spoon to use. To be a princess is 1,000 pairs of shoes. To maintain a regal gait, leave the parsley on your plate, and be charming but detached and yet amused. To be a princess is to never be confused.
To be a princess is to know which spoon to use. To be a princess is 1,000 pairs of shoes. Have your breakfast served in bed, wear some diamonds on your head, get a foot massage in mani-pedi too. To be a princess is to live a dream come true. To be a pop star is to know which mic to use. To be a pop star is to not fall off your shoes. To rehearse until it's right, give a great show every night, and the room service with anything you choose. To be a pop star is to love your great reviews. Shoulders back and strike a pose and pinky out and change your clothes and slowly turn your head from side to side. I see now. Here's a camera, stepping lightly. There's a camera, not politely. Do everything you do with pride. Glide.
In Malibu, Merlia lives with her Uncle Break. Merlia is a professional surfer, but not everything was as it seems. Little did Merlia know, her next wave was about to change her whole life. While on the waves, her hair turned pink, and she discovers she is a mermaid, with the help of a dolphin named Zuma. Turned out, Merlia was a princess, but her mother hid her away from her sister Iris, Merlia's aunt. Iris locks away Merlia's mom, Queen Carlissa, so she can rule the ocean. She would get rid of her, but Iris needs Carlissa to make Merlia the life force of the sea. Only the royal family can make it, but Iris was the only member of the royal family that can't. Merlia defeats her aunt, saves her mother, her kingdom, and is crowned Princess of Oceania. Merlia ultimately decides to split her life, part mermaid, princess of the ocean, and part human, a professional surfer. A little while later, Merlia heads to Australia for the ultimate surfing competition. Her top competitor, Kylie, steals Merlia's necklace that lets her change from human to mermaid. This releases Iris from her whirlpool prison. Kylie and Merlia head to Oceania to stop Iris. Once she's defeated, Merlia gains her ability to spin Merlia and help keep the ocean healthy. Across the sea in another kingdom, Princess Lumina was being hid away by Scala from an evil royal guard. Scala didn't tell Lumina about her origins and told her not to show anyone her pearl powers. Only the royal family has the ability to move or control pearl. One day, Lumina runs off to explore the city. She had never left her home before. She got a job as a stylist, and with her powers, she was a fan favorite. She met a boy named Delphin, a delivery boy. She and her friends went to the royal ball together. At the ball, Lumina learned Delphin was a prince from another kingdom, and she is the long-lost princess. Her parents are overjoyed to be reunited with her. Barbie is attending high school with her best friends Kevin, Courtney, and Dawn. Barbie begins to work as a school reporter and gets a date with Todd to the dance. However, while out dress shopping, Todd breaks up with Barbie over the phone for his on and off girlfriend, Raquel. The shopkeeper feels bad and decides to let Barbie and her friends pick out a piece of jewelry. Barbie gets a charm bracelet that works as a key for a diary. Barbie begins to write in the diary about things she wished would happen. This led her to start to believe magic is real. Everything she writes turns into reality. When Raquel found out how important the diary was to Barbie, she stole the bracelet that opened it. This leads to Barbie learning what truly matters to her and decides that the thing she wrote was just a coincidence. She started to date her closest guy friend, Kevin. She realized he liked her. After high school, Barbie and Kevin break up. While Barbie works on her acting career, she helps her little sister Kelly with her life problem. By telling her some of the stories of the movies she began to star in. She helped Kelly with her ballet, painting, music, and overall people skills. Barbie truly embraced her love for the camp and became a professional actress. She also started to date Ken. However, Raquel also became a professional actress, constantly starring in movies together. Raquel was often trying to steal Ken away from Barbie, jealous of the life Barbie had, jealous that Barbie was the star, had all the roles handed to her, had the boyfriend, the perfect friends, the stunning tailor, and the perfect family. Raquel desperately wanted Barbie's life and was going to do all she could to steal it. Barbie stars in a series of movies that are nearly forgotten from the past, such as The Nutcracker, Rapunzel, Swan Lake, The Princess and the Pauper, A Christmas Carol, The Three Musketeers, The Island Princess, The 12 Dancing Princesses, The Magic of the Pegasus, A Mermaid Tale 1 and 2, The Princess and the Popstar. Barbie's in Princess Power and The Pink Shoes as a remake of Swan Lake. Most of the more recent movies are hanging up in her trailer, which you can see here. During a movie shoot for Princess and the Pea, Ken, Barbie's boyfriend, breaks up with her, so she decided to take a break and went to Paris to see her Aunt Millicent. While there, Barbie makes a new friend, Mari. Together they help her aunt save her fashion empire with the help of some fairies that Barbie and Mary discovered in a wardrobe together. They put on a fashion show, and while Barbie is on stage for the final look, Ken arrives and begs Barbie to take him back, which she does, and she heads back and starts to film her next movie. At the premiere of Barbie and Raquel's newest movie, Raquel steps on Barbie's dress to rip and destroy it for the cameras. Luckily for Barbie, her tailors, Carrie and Taylor, are the best and were easily able to repair the damage with some fairy magic. The next day, while out eating, Barbie confronts Raquel about damaging the dress. While arguing, a fairy appears and kidnaps Ken. Barbie's tailors turn into fairies and try to chase after him to no success, revealing that they're fairies to Barbie and Raquel. Together, Barbie, Raquel, Taylor, and Carrie go to the magic realm. Barbie and Raquel get temporary fairy wings, and together they find out Princess Graciela was given a love potion that made her break up with her boyfriend and fall in love with Ken. It turned out Crystal gave her the love potion so she could have Prince Zane all to herself, but that didn't work. Once the spell was broken, Crystal gets arrested. Princess Graciela and Prince Zane got married. Princess Graciela also wiped Barbie and Raquel's memories of the whole event. They forgot they were fairies, but remembered some of the emotion and remembered that they had some sort of new friendship and became nicer to each other. Meanwhile, in another town, Barbie is a teacher who is teaching her students about nature. While at a park, one of her students, McKenna, accidentally brings home a fairy Thumbelina. She hides Thumbelina from the other people and helps her get home. With the help of Thumbelina, McKenna, and some other humans, they work together to save Thumbelina's home from being destroyed by construction workers. McKenna also ends up going to one of the Barbie movie premieres to get Barbie's autograph, but ended up with Raquel's instead, which hints at the fact that they're not the same Barbie. For the most part, the Barbie games are just games that don't tie into anything else. However, in one of the versions of the Barbie games homepage, Barbie and her friends are in the gaming room, and the slideshow on the TV shows movies that Barbie starred in, such as the 12 Dancing Princesses. This leads me to believe that it is inside the same universe that Barbie is an actress in, so I'm just sliding it into the OG Barbie Timeline category. Very far into the future, humans live amongst the stars. One day the stars begin to fade, so Barbie decides to travel with a rescue team on a mission to save the stars. King Constantine tries to use a device to realign the stars, but it fails. Barbie ends up dancing to save the stars single-handedly, saving the galaxy. King Constantine crowns Barbie as a princess and offers her a place at the palace due to her heroic efforts. This is the OG Barbie timeline, laid out right in front of you. Something to note about Fairytopia is that it's not its own universe. It takes place in the original Barbie timeline. However, it does not cross paths or directly interfere with anything that's already going on.
Just through the rainbow, from the world we know, lies Fairytopia.
Mariposa is a butterfly fairy who lives in Flutterfield. While leaving a party, she runs into Prince Carlos and becomes quick friends. When Queen Marabella gets poisoned, Prince Carlos seeks Mariposa for help. She finds the antidote, cures the queen, and is the new hero and historian of Flutterfield. Not long later, Mariposa gets summoned by the queen. The queen asks Mariposa what she knows about the crystal fairies. Mariposa answers, Shimmervale is powered by crystal light. The queen realizes her son chose the right person for the job and appoints Mariposa as the royal ambassador and sends her to Shimmervale to make friends with the crystal fairies. Mariposa makes friends with Princess Katina. While at the ball, the two girls leave to find a mad old lady who is bent on corrupting the crystallites. The two girls stop the mad lady and restore the crystallites and reunites the two kingdoms in friendship. Mariposa meets a wingless flower fairy named Elena in Magic Meadow. She tells Elena of all of her adventures, and they regularly hang out. Elena looks up to Mariposa as a role model. Elena unfortunately gets the chance to go on her own adventure when all of the flying creatures stopped being able to fly, and all of the magic flower homes got sick. The guardian of Magic Meadow, Topaz, was kidnapped. Since Elena was the only fairy who originally couldn't fly, she was the only one who could save Magic Meadow and everyone in it. She heads on a quest to find Azula, the guardian of Fairytown, to get her help. When Elena and her best friend Bibble, who is a species called puffballs, who were for some reason the only flying creatures not affected by this curse. Anyhow, when they find Azora, she gives Elena her necklace for safekeeping. That night, while Elena and Bibble were sleeping, Azula gets kidnapped by Laverna, the person who created the anti-flying sickness. Laverna tries to take the magic from every guardian and become ruler. However, Azura didn't have her magic necklace. Elena destroys the crystal Laverna was using to try and steal the magic from the Guardians' necklaces. For her bravery, the Enchantress gives Elena a pair of wings, meaning Elena is no longer a disabled fairy, which was her only advantage in this entire movie. Only weeks after Elena got her wings, a sea butterfly told Elena that Prince Nalu was kidnapped. She met him briefly on her last adventure. So Elena, Bibble, and the sea butterfly head to the water, where they realize some of the water had been poisoned. The sea butterfly gave Elena and Bibble some magic kelp to allow them to breathe underwater. With the help of Nori, Prince Nalu's best friend, Elena trades her new wings for a tail. Elena, Bibble, and Nori save Prince Nalu from Laverna, tricking her minions into giving her a berry that turned her into a frog. However, Elena was too late getting out of the water and is becoming a mermaid forever. Luckily for her, Nori gave Elena a berry that reveals her true self. Instead of going back to a disabled fairy, the person she was born, she instead got a new pair of wings that are not the same she already had at the beginning of the movie. Elena later gets invited to school to learn the flight of spring dance as Azula's apprentice. Glee, Lumina, Sunburst, Shimmer, Faban, and Linden were also invited as apprentices of the other Guardians. Laverna tries to stop the dance. It brings spring to Fairytopia, and without it, Fairytopia will lose all of its magic and plunge into winter for 10 very long years. Elena and the other apprentices finish the dance, defeating Laverna and another one of her evil schemes. When all of this is over, Bibble isn't feeling very hopeful, so Elena tells him the stories of her friend Mariposa to help him feel hopeful for the good people out there. Bibble also gets a girlfriend, another puffball, named Dizzle. Here is the Fairytopia timeline. Barbie Land is where Barbie and every Barbie doll that has ever been created lives. In the movie, Barbie leaves Barbie Land and goes to the real world. The real world and the Toy Story has a lot in common, but I am going to separate them for convenience. Barbie shows up in, I think, every Toy Story movie. Like in Toy Story 2, she is at a general store having a party with a bunch of other Barbies. At the end of the movie, Weird Barbie shows up in a little girl's backpack. In Toy Story 3, Barbie and Ken are dolls at the school that the other toys end up at. And in Toy Story 4, several different versions of Barbie shows up in Molly's room. I know. The Barbie movie is its own universe and it's its own thing, but it does have a lot in common with Toy Story. There are some solo movies and shows that I couldn't quite fit in, like Dreamtopia, which is not a good TV show, if we're being honest. It's not that great. We don't talk about Dreamtopia. There's also Life in the Dream House, which is kind of like a reality TV series, but they're all dolls, literally. Things that couldn't quite fit in the timeline are like A Perfect Christmas from 2011, Barbie Spy Squad from 2016, Barbie and the Secret Door from 2014. I just couldn't find where they fit in any of the timeline. They're kind of standalone. Now, for the new Barbie timeline. This is the most recent out of the Barbie universe. This new generation of Barbie does not have the same background of the original at all, which leads us to believe it's a totally different timeline. It branched off at some point to create its own universe. The Barbie world is very much like our own. It starts in a modern day with no Barbie-based background to go off of, so we don't know the history of this world, assuming that it's like ours. In Video Game Hero, Barbie works on creating her own video game and has her her friends help her test it out. After realizing there were a lot of flaws, a cute little cloud invited her to experience video games like never before. Barbie gets sucked into video games and has a blast. She makes pixie friends and learns how to make her own game better by allowing people to choose how to play the game. This is around the time Barbie begins her vlogging career and begins the Barbie vlogs, which are all over YouTube. Barbie and her sisters go to visit their Aunt Marlene's Alpine Riding Academy during the summer. They hang out with their aunt and twin cousins, Mari and Matt. Barbie sees a beautiful white horse with a pink streak in its hair in the distance, but it quickly disappears. Barbie later learns the horse she saw was the Riding Academy's logo. It is said to be the horse is called the Majesty, and it's believed to not even really exist. Marlene reveals to the girls that she may need to sell the academy. To save Alpine Riding Academy, all the girls enter together in the upcoming tournament to get the prize money and gather publicity. Stacy enters with her horse Pepper for the cross-country trail and wins second place. Chelsea and her horse Dash enters in the pony parade and wins first place. Skipper enters the dressage competition and wins first place. This ties Alpine and Ecor first place. However, during the dance later that night, the horses escape and Etienne breaks his arm. So the next day, Barbie enters with Majestique in his place in the sheep chase, winning first place. Skipper records the event, helped Alpine sign up new students, and solving their aunt's current financial struggle. The Robert family adopts a litter of puppies, and when the Roberts go to their hometown Willow, they bring the puppies with them. While going through their grandmother's attic, they discover a mysterious map that they believed would lead them to a great treasure and start on an exciting adventure. The treasure turned out to be costume jewelry and fake coins, but the girls had a blast exploring with the puppies. The puppies make their first appearance in Barbie's YouTube vlogs. Chelsea had a dance competition that leads her sisters, and the puppies to an island. Barbie is given a golf cart instead of a car as a result of bad planning. When the puppies go missing, the girls hop on the golf cart to find them. The golf cart gets stuck in the mud and it gets dark, leaving the girls stranded. Barbie tells them it will all be okay and there's nothing to worry about. While being lost in the woods, in the dark, in the cold, alone, with no signal and no way to get help, no GPS, no map, and the puppies are still missing. They had no food or shelter, and the road was washed out, so no one would even be heading that way to find them. So Barbie's a liar, and they are in fact in a bad situation. Some guys find the puppies and take good care of them until they can be reunited with their owner. Barbie and her sisters have to hike, zip line, climb, rent a car, then a golf cart, a camper, and it runs out of gas. The girls get pissed off that Barbie is being so unrealistically positive. They've been through serious shit and are tired. The girls find themselves at the beach where the puppies are surfing. It's so cute. It also happens to be right before Chelsea's dance competition because, oh yeah, that's why they went to the island. So the guys that found the puppies gave them a ride to the competition. It wasn't easy though, and they had just as much trouble getting there as they did finding the puppies. This causes Chelsea to be late and almost not be able to dance, but Chelsea wins the competition with the power of plot armor. If you ask me, the island is cursed. The puppies, Barbie, Skipper, Chelsea, and Stacy, go to a tropical island where Ken is interning in marine biology. While snorkeling, they discover a bright green dolphin trapped in an enclosure at the research facility. Barbie makes a new friend and a strange girl named Isla. Isla reveals to Barbie she is a mermaid, and the dolphin is the gemstone dolphin. The other gemstone dolphins meet up with Isla and Barbie. When the other dolphins got close enough to Emerald, the bright green dolphin, the markings of the gemstone dolphins appeared. Marlo, Ken's boss, sees the design and tries to profit off Emerald. Barbie, her sisters, Isla, the puppies, the dolphins, and Ken all work together to free Emerald. When Marlo suspects Isla is a mermaid, Barbie wraps herself in kelp to distract Marlo from Isla, getting Isla and the dolphins back home safely. Dreamhouse Adventures is a series based off Barbie, her friends, and her family's daily lives, with the cast changing and growing with every movie. So it's like a sub-series. It happens at the same time. While Barbie and her friend Daisy are filming for the Barbie vlog, her sisters inspire a new song, and they make a music video for it. When the song goes viral, Princess Amelia invites Barbie and all of her friends that have been in her vlogs to Florida under the ruse of a cultural field trip. Rose Ross also saw the video and offered for Barbie to join the big league, but she'd need to change her entire vlog and personality. Rose tells Barbie her vlogs aren't good enough and needs to come up with something better. Princess Amelia and Barbie look a lot like each other. and decided to switch places during the week in Florida. After the princess switch, Barbie and Amelia make a video talking about their experience. However, when Barbie sends it to Rose, she edits it and makes Amelia look bad. Barbie turns down the offer to the big league and posts the original video. The Roberts family and the puppies go on an adventure cruise that Margaret, the mom, is working on for Chelsea's 7th birthday. Barbie, Stacy, Skipper, and Chelsea all look for the perfect place to have Chelsea's party. However, the activities director hates his job, his life, and children, so he makes everyone miserable. Unfortunately, that night, while the Roberts were sleeping, they traveled over the international date line, going from the 9th to the 11th, skipping over the 10th and Chelsea's birthday. Chelsea is utterly heartbroken, runs around screaming, and tires herself out and falls asleep in a boat. While asleep, she dreams of a strange and magical birthday. However, no one knows where she is and goes to an island nearby to find her. They didn't. When Chelsea wakes up, she is so over missing her birthday because she had a nice dream. Also, Barbie's vlogging most of this. With big dreams of being a Broadway star, Barbie enrolls in a summer program at Handler's Arts Academy in New York, where she meets Barbie Roberts. To ease some of the confusion, the new Barbie that we just met goes by Brooklyn, which is what I'll be calling them this whole time. They end up being roomies, best friends, and competition, but that doesn't stop their friendship. Barbie really struggles with school. While there, Barbie meets Lee, who ends up being Emily, a pretty famous pop star who used to be friends with Brooklyn. After dealing with the scandal laid out by Emily's dad, both Barbies win the contest and perform in Times Square. It Takes Two is a series about what Barbie and Brooklyn's lives are like for the year at the Academy. They go through a big wackiness, but overall have a blast. And Barbie isn't vlogging as much due to being in school. Barbie, her sisters, and Brooklyn all head out to sea to clean up the ocean. When Barbie's necklace starts to glow, all the girls jump into the ocean and turn into mermaids. Together they head to Pacifica to compete in competition to release mermaid powers: earth, fire, water, air, animal speed, and one of the 8 will be the power mermaid. Brooklyn gains the power of fire. Skipper gets the power of air. Talia awakens her fire power while trying to kill Brooklyn and Barbie. She's an anti-human racist. Stacy gains the power of earth so she can move rocks. Chelsea gains the ability to speak to animals. Serena awakens the power of water. Chelsea in Aquia gets kidnapped by Marlowe, Ken's old boss. Barbie leaves the other merpeople to go save the girls. While rescuing them, Barbie unlocks the power of water. It turned out Aquila was the power mermaid and possessed all the powers. In the end, they save the ocean and head back to land. I have no idea how the fire power works underwater. They are literally under the sea. How can you have fire? It Takes Two, Season 2 takes place. Epic Road Trip is an interactive Netflix movie where you choose how the story goes. Barbie goes on a cross-country field trip with Brooklyn, Skipper, and Ken. They help dogs find their owners, go to an audition to be backup singers, and depending on the choice you make, Barbie and Ken start to date, which is like, oh my god, about time. Barbie and Brooklyn discover a small unicorn. Barbie, her friends, and her sisters work together to protect the unicorn and helps it get its wings and becomes an alicorn. Skipper is babysitting a lot of kids and almost gets them killed by getting in a mysterious plane. It takes off without a pilot and the operators had no idea that there were kids inside. Luckily, everyone was safe and Skipper didn't go to jail for murder or negligence. Then we have Stacy to the rescue, and nothing is known about this yet because it hasn't come out, but that's next. This is the new Barbie timeline. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!